Far beyond the crowded systems of the core worlds, at the edge of the uncharted frontier, the void of space was quiet. Stars flickered silently, distant suns burning pale against the black emptiness. For centuries, this region had been ignored by the galaxy's great empires. Few had ventured here and fewer still had returned. That silence ended abruptly when sensors aboard the Zetraxian Sentinel, a scout vessel from the Viren Empire, picked up an anomaly. At first, it was almost invisible, just a tiny dot moving between stars. But something about it was wrong. Its speed, its trajectory, and even its energy signature were unlike anything the Viren had catalogued. Commander Kyler of the Sentinel narrowed his eyes at the readouts. "Report again," he demanded. "There's no way that's possible." The officer at the console, a young Viren named Tressa, double-checked the sensors. "Sir, it's real. Small, lightly armored. One ship. Human designation unknown. Energy signature minimal. But it's moving in a way that suggests intelligence beyond our scanner's ability to measure." Kyler's antennas twitched. In Viren terms, intelligence beyond scanners was a polite way of saying, "We have no idea what we're dealing with, and that is dangerous." The ship, small and sleek, came out of hyperspace without fanfare. Its hull was worn in places, scratched from countless journeys. Its weapons were almost invisible to the Viren sensors, shielded in ways they did not understand. And yet there was a calm in its approach, a confidence that made even seasoned scouts uneasy. Kyler tapped a series of commands, attempting to establish communication. "This is Commander Kyler of the Viren Sentinel. Identify yourself." The reply came instantly, but not as expected. It was not a voice, nor the usual digital pattern the Viren used. It was direct. A message appeared on every screen simultaneously, in a language that was somehow intelligible despite never having been programmed into the ship systems. "We are here. Do not interfere." Kyler froze. The message was simple, polite, yet carried an authority that made his antennas vibrate with tension. One ship. One human ship. And yet it did not speak in fear or hesitation. Across the Viren Empire, news spread quickly. Star systems, normally caught up in politics, trade disputes, and border skirmishes, paused. If a human ship had arrived at the frontier, the galaxy's many empires knew immediately that something extraordinary was happening. No one had seen a human vessel in over a century. Humans had once been numerous explorers, traders, and warriors, but they had vanished from galactic records long ago. Rumors persisted. Some said humans were extinct. Others said they had returned to their homeworld in secret. But one human ship appearing at the edge of known space, was enough to stir fear, curiosity, and speculation in equal measure. The humans inside the ship were calm. Captain Alara Kane moved through the narrow corridors of the vessel with purpose. She was tall, with dark hair tied back neatly. Her crew followed without question, each knowing exactly what to do. The humans were few, only 20 in total, yet they carried themselves as though they were a fleet. Alara approached the bridge. The holographic displays flickered, showing nearby star systems and alien patrol routes. "They're scanning us," said Lieutenant Ryan, her second in command. "Viren, I think. They've got a small fleet a few light minutes out." Alara nodded. "Good, let them watch. They will learn nothing until the right time." The bridge was quiet, but there was a tension in the air, the kind that comes before a storm. Outside, alien ships gathered cautiously, keeping their distance, scanning and trying to calculate the human ship's intentions. And yet, for all their efforts, they could not predict what humans would do. Kyler, aboard the Sentinel, observed from a distance. "Sir," Tressa said, her voice trembling slightly, they are not responding the way any species has before. They are calm and precise. And they are small, one ship. Surely they cannot be a threat." Kyler's antennas twitched. "We will see. Keep tracking them. Do not engage, not yet, but prepare our weapons. I do not like this." Back aboard the human ship, Alara reviewed the mission log. She had been sent to the frontier to investigate reports of an unusual energy field. Nothing about the assignment suggested confrontation, yet humans never went into unknown space lightly. They were explorers, yes, but they were also protectors, and they knew that the galaxy had a long memory and a long list of enemies. "Ryan," she said quietly, "we move forward. Keep sensors active, shields at 60%, weapons offline. We don't want to fight, yet. But we will defend ourselves if we must." The crew nodded. Humans did not panic, even in the face of uncertainty. It was a trait that other species found baffling. Where the Viren would hesitate, calculate endlessly, and then retreat, humans acted decisively, using their intuition and ingenuity. The lone human ship moved gracefully through the void, passing by asteroid fields and uncharted planets. Alien scouts tried to predict its course, but it seemed to anticipate every move, as if reading the thoughts of its observers. Kyler finally ordered his ship closer. "I want visual," he said. "Let's see what we're dealing with." When the Viren hails were finally sent, the humans responded, not with weapons but with a simple broadcast. Images of the galaxy's colonies under threat, of species oppressed by overreaching empires, of systems left to decay under bureaucratic control. The message was clear. Humans were watching, humans were aware, and humans were willing to act. Across the galaxy, rumors began to spread. The Viren reported to other empires, but each account seemed to contradict the others. One human ship, they said, had disabled an entire patrol fleet without firing a single shot. Another claimed the ship moved like lightning, appearing and disappearing in the blink of an eye. And yet another whispered that the humans' weapons were not conventional. They were intelligent, adaptive, and precise beyond understanding. Alara's ship continued its journey toward the frontier colonies. She knew the galaxy was watching. Every move her crew made was being scrutinized by empires that had never truly faced humans before. But she was confident. Humans had survived worse, and their strength was never in numbers alone. It was in courage, creativity, and the will to act. Kyler, back on the Sentinel, looked at the reports coming in. His antennas twitched nervously. "One ship," he muttered. "One human ship, and yet it feels like an entire fleet." Across the frontier, alien systems braced themselves. They had been trained to fear fleets, weapons, and overwhelming power. But this was different. One human ship was enough. Enough to make the galaxy pause, to rethink its assumptions, and to remember the stories that had long been buried in history. Humans were not weak. Humans were not predictable. Humans were not to be underestimated. And as the lone ship moved silently through the stars, Captain Alara Kane stared ahead, her eyes steady. She did not seek war. She did not seek conquest. But she knew the galaxy would remember this moment, the day one human ship arrived at the edge of known space, and the galaxy wondered why it was enough. Because it always would be. The human ship moved steadily through the frontier system, passing jagged asteroid fields and planets abandoned by old empires. Silence surrounded them, broken only by the hum of the ship's engines and the occasional ping of a distant sensor. Captain Alara Kane stood on the bridge, her eyes scanning the holographic displays. "Keep shields steady," she ordered. "Sensors, stay alert for any movement in the outer rim." Lieutenant Ryan nodded. "Captain, multiple contacts detected. Alien ships, they're moving toward us. Small attack vessels at first, but larger ones are on the way." Alara's face remained calm. "Good. Let them come. We'll make them learn, but without firing unless necessary." The alien ships belonged to the Viren Empire, a species known for their discipline and aggression. Their patrols had been watching the frontier, keeping an eye out for unknown travelers. They had detected the human ship hours ago and now considered it an intruder. From their side, Commander Kyler ordered his fleet forward. "Do not underestimate them," he warned. "They are human." History says they are unpredictable and resourceful, but still one ship. Surely we can overwhelm it. The first V-Rin attack vessels approached cautiously. Sensors tried to predict the human ship's path, but it moved in ways that made no sense to conventional logic. It appeared here and then there, slipping through asteroid fields and maneuvering around gravity wells with uncanny precision. The humans watched calmly. Ryan calculated the alien ship's trajectories and smiled. "Captain, if we do this right, they won't even touch us." Alara nodded. "Proceed." The V-Rin fired first. Energy bolts streaked across the void, targeting the human ship with deadly precision. On the bridge, alarms rang, but the humans moved with grace. Shields absorbed the impact, while the ship executed sudden lateral maneuvers, slipping between incoming fire like a dancer moving through a crowded room. "Impressive," Ryan said quietly. "They cannot predict our moves. Humans never fight like anyone expects," Alara replied. Her voice was calm, but there was a spark of satisfaction. "We fight smart, not with brute force." The alien commanders grew frustrated. Their attacks missed repeatedly. Every volley of energy was avoided or absorbed. They tried to surround the human ship, but each maneuver was countered effortlessly. Kyler's antennas twitched. "Report," he demanded. "How are they doing this?" Tressa hesitated. "Sir, I don't know. They are adapting faster than our systems can calculate. It's as if the ship anticipates every move we make." Alara made her first move. The humans had no intention of destroying the alien ships. They only wanted to send a message. Using a combination of electromagnetic pulses and precise navigation, the human ship disabled the main engines of the closest attack vessel without harming its crew. The alien ship drifted, powerless and confused, as the humans passed by. "See," Alara said. "No casualties, no destruction, just awareness." The remaining alien ships tried again, forming tight formations and firing in patterns designed to trap the human vessel. But the humans were unpredictable. They used debris fields, gravitational slingshots, and sudden bursts of speed to escape every trap. Every alien captain watching began to doubt their strategy. Back on the alien flagship, Kyler gritted his teeth. "They are a single ship. One. How is it possible?" Tressa spoke softly, almost to herself. "It's not their size or firepower, sir, it's their mind. They think differently, faster, smarter." Meanwhile, the humans continued their approach to the frontier colony. It was a small settlement of miners and scientists, barely defended, but under constant harassment from the V-Rin. The aliens had assumed it would be an easy target. They had not anticipated humans arriving. The humans entered orbit around the colony quietly. From the ship's sensors, they saw the V-Rin soldiers patrolling the surface, enforcing strict rules and taking resources. Alara turned to her crew. "We helped them, efficiently, and without a fight if possible." The crew dispersed. Drones were sent down to disable power grids and communication jammers, allowing the colony to contact friendly systems. Automated systems neutralized traps and blocked alien reinforcements from arriving immediately. Humans worked methodically, silently, and precisely. The V-Rin responded with confusion and aggression. They sent more ships to intercept, but again, the humans' tactics outpaced them. The alien fleets found themselves unable to corner the human ship. Every move they attempted was countered with calm, careful precision. Kyler's frustration reached a peak. "They are too smart, we cannot hit them, we cannot predict them, and they are helping the colony, one ship helping an entire planet." Tressa shook her head. "It doesn't make sense, sir. No species could do this alone." "But humans are different." Alara's ship deployed small automated units that disabled alien communications, leaving the patrol ships confused and uncoordinated. Yet, at no point did the humans fire a destructive weapon. Their goal was not war. It was to protect, to demonstrate strength, and to teach the V-Rin that numbers alone could not dominate intelligence and courage. On the colony, humans began evacuating key civilians while alien patrols scrambled in confusion. The colonists watched in awe as a single human ship orchestrated a rescue operation that a fleet of V-Rin warships had failed to prevent. Ryan turned to Alara. "Captain, they're stunned. They've never seen tactics like this. They don't understand us." Alara nodded. "They never will. That is the advantage humans have." The humans' operation was completed within hours. They had rescued the colonists, neutralized alien patrols without bloodshed, and left clear signs that humans had intervened. The aliens, humiliated and confused, withdrew from the system to report back to their leaders. Kyler, reporting to the V-Rin High Council, admitted with a hint of fear, "It was one ship, one human ship. And yet, it was enough to defeat multiple vessels and secure an entire colony. Their tactics, they are unlike anything we have faced." The council murmured in disbelief. Some believed humans were exaggerating. Others whispered old legends about human ingenuity, adaptability, and courage. For centuries, humans had been underestimated, dismissed as a primitive species. And now, one ship had proven all those assumptions wrong. Back on the human ship, Captain Kane observed the retreating alien vessels. She did not celebrate, nor did she feel pride in destruction. Her mission had been a success, not because of firepower, but because humans had acted wisely, swiftly, and without unnecessary aggression. "Ryan," she said softly, "the galaxy is watching. One ship is all it takes. One ship can change everything." Ryan smiled. "Yes, Captain, and we did it without a single life lost." Alara's eyes narrowed, focused on the horizon. "Remember this. One human ship can inspire hope. One human ship can make enemies rethink their strategy. One human ship can be enough." In the void of space, alien scouts transmitted reports back to their capitals. Across the galaxy, whispers spread about the human ship that had outsmarted fleets and saved a colony alone. Fear mixed with curiosity. Some plotted retaliation, some proposed alliances, but all agreed on one point: humans were not what they seemed. One ship, one human ship. And suddenly the galaxy understood why it was enough. The humans did not linger. They left the system quietly, continuing their journey into the frontier. The colonists watched as the ship disappeared into the darkness, leaving hope and wonder in its wake. For them, the humans were legends come to life, proof that courage, intelligence, and unity could change even the largest galaxy. The V-Rin Empire, and indeed every empire watching, was left to ponder a simple, terrifying truth. One ship could not be defeated by numbers alone. One human ship was enough to alter the balance of power, to inspire resistance, and to demonstrate that humans were not merely another species. They were a force unlike any other. And in the cold silence of space, Captain Alara Kane and her crew sailed onward, knowing that the story of one human ship was just beginning. The galaxy was in uproar. Reports of the human ship's actions at the frontier colony spread faster than any fleet could travel. Across the core systems, empires and councils convened in urgency. Star maps were pulled down, fleets repositioned, and advisors debated endlessly about what the humans might do next. At the Grand Galactic Council, representatives from dozens of species gathered in a massive, circular chamber. The air was thick with tension. Holographic displays showed a single dot, a human ship, moving steadily through the outer rim, unchallenged and unstoppable in its course. "Explain this to me," roared Ambassador V-Rin of the V-Rin Empire, his antennae bristling in agitation. "One ship, one, and it disabled our patrols, rescued an entire colony, and disappeared without a scratch. How is that possible?" Counselor 3, a calm, elder species with tentacles for communication, raised a limb. "It appears that the humans do not rely on conventional numbers or brute force. Their advantage seems to lie in intelligence and strategy." The room murmured. Intelligence and strategy were common traits among many species, but none had ever combined them with the unpredictability the humans displayed. Every attack they faced was countered with precision. Every threat was neutralized without unnecessary violence. One ship had accomplished what entire fleets had failed to do. Far from the Council, Captain Alara Kane and her crew monitored the situation from orbit above a small, uncharted planet. They had learned of the Council's convening through intercepted communications. Ryan leaned over a console. "Captain, they are discussing us. Every empire knows we are here. Some are planning fleets. Others are unsure what to do. They think we might be more than a ship." Alara nodded. "Good, let them wonder. The key is not confrontation, it's perception. Humans are clever because we make others question their assumptions." Humans, she knew, did not fight the way others did. While alien species relied on overwhelming firepower or complex fleet maneuvers, humans relied on adaptability, quick thinking, and improvisation. They observed, calculated, and acted, often in ways that could not be predicted by algorithms or strategy boards. Back at the Council, debate raged. Some species argued for a preemptive strike. "If this is only one ship," one ambassador said, "we must destroy it before more arrive. If we wait, the humans will gain strength." Others disagreed. "No," said Ambassador Virin cautiously. "You do not understand, their power is not in numbers. Even a fleet may not defeat them if we fight conventionally. Their tactics, their intelligence, it is beyond our calculations." A young officer, newly assigned to intelligence, whispered to his superior, "It is as though the humans can anticipate our moves before we make them." "Exactly," the superior replied. "One ship is enough because humans fight like no other species. They adapt, they improvise, they use the battlefield itself as a weapon, and most importantly, they are fearless in ways we cannot comprehend." Meanwhile, the human ship moved silently, avoiding detection when necessary and helping oppressed colonies along its path. Each action was calculated not just for immediate effect, but to send a message across the galaxy. Alara studied the holographic map of the Council chambers. "They think we are a threat," she said. "Good, let them, but a threat that does not attack need not fear retaliation. Humans are strong, but we do not provoke without reason. That is our advantage." Ryan looked at her with admiration. "Captain, one ship is enough. Not because of firepower, but because of what we represent." "Exactly," Alara replied. "Courage, intelligence, the will to act. The galaxy has forgotten what humans can do. One ship reminds them." As the humans approached the next frontier system, they detected a massive alien fleet preparing to block their path. Hundreds of ships, spanning multiple species, lined up in formation. A direct attack would be suicidal for any ordinary vessel, yet the humans did not panic. "Ryan, calculate the safest path through without confrontation," Alara ordered. "Use terrain, gravitational fields, and their formations against them. We are small, but they are predictable. Let us show them why one ship is enough." The calculations began. Drones mapped asteroid belts and nebulae, while advanced sensors detected weak points in the enemy fleet. Humans observed patterns, tested reactions, and devised a plan that leveraged intelligence over strength. When the fleet fired first, the humans moved like shadows, appearing in places no sensors expected. They disabled key communications, leaving command vessels isolated. Alien captains were confused, unable to coordinate, while the humans slipped past without ever firing a shot. Kyler aboard his flagship growled into the Council's communicator. "How can this be? One ship, and yet our entire formation is useless. They are everywhere but nowhere. How is this possible?" A counselor replied, voice trembling. "It is not their ship. It is the humans themselves. Their minds, their adaptability, they fight differently than any known species." Humans had always relied on creativity, a trait alien species often overlooked. While others studied patterns and equations, Humans experimented, took risks, and turned disadvantage into advantage. That unpredictability made them dangerous beyond measure. Captain Alara watched as the alien fleet struggled. She did not revel in their confusion. Her mission was not conquest, it was survival and protection. Still, it was impossible not to feel the satisfaction of knowing that humans' reputation for ingenuity was proving true. "Remember this, crew," she said quietly. "We are not fighting to destroy. We are fighting to remind the galaxy that humans cannot be ignored. One ship is enough because humans are not predictable, cannot be calculated, and will not hesitate when action is required." The humans emerged from the encounter without a single casualty. Their tactics had prevented destruction, rescued colonies, and left enemies bewildered. Across the galaxy, stories spread. "Did you see it?" whispered a Viren officer. "One ship, and yet our fleet could not stop them. They did not even fire weapons in some cases." "How can one ship have such power?" "They fight like humans," a colleague replied. "They adapt, improvise, and they think in ways we cannot understand. That is why one is enough." The human ship continued its journey. Wherever they went, they left hope for oppressed colonies and fear for those who would threaten freedom. One ship, they realized, was enough to inspire courage in some and terror in others. Alara reflected on what they had achieved. Humans had a history of being underestimated. Entire empires once believed humans were weak, primitive, and manageable. And yet here they were, proving that intelligence, courage, and creativity were stronger than numbers or technology alone. "Ryan," she said, "the galaxy is learning a lesson. One ship can make a difference. One ship can protect lives. One ship can change the course of events across star systems." Ryan smiled. "Captain, they will remember this, and they will think twice before underestimating humans again." Alara's eyes scanned the stars ahead. "Yes. And one day, perhaps, they will understand fully. But for now, one ship is enough." In the council chambers, debates continued, but a new understanding was forming. Humans were not merely another species. They were clever, courageous, and unpredictable. They could outthink and outmaneuver entire fleets. One ship, one human ship, could achieve more than many would dare to imagine. And as the humans pressed further into the frontier, aiding colonies and observing the galaxy, the lesson became undeniable. When humans acted, even a single ship could be a force the galaxy could not ignore. One human ship had arrived. And the galaxy, finally, was beginning to understand why it was enough. The galaxy was no longer calm. Word of the human ship's actions had spread to every corner, reaching even the most remote systems. Empires that had once ignored the frontier now mobilized fleets, not just to stop the humans, but to assert dominance, to show that no single vessel could challenge galactic authority. Yet, all of them underestimated one simple truth: humans did not fight like anyone else. Captain Alara Kane and her crew had learned long ago that perception was as powerful as weapons. They had moved silently through the frontier, aiding colonies, rescuing innocents, and demonstrating that one human ship could accomplish what fleets could not. And now, as dozens of alien fleets converged in a distant system to intercept them, the humans prepared for the final lesson. Ryan tapped the bridge console. "Captain, hundreds of ships, every major empire's fleet. They're blocking all exits. They expect us to surrender or to fight." Alara's gaze was steady. "Let them expect what they will. They will learn what humans do when they are cornered. Begin calculations. We will move carefully, precisely. One ship is enough, not because of power but because of mind and will." The fleets advanced, forming a massive blockade across the star system. Alien captains communicated constantly, sending orders, adjusting formations, trying to anticipate human movement. Every sensor scanned for weaknesses. Every algorithm ran simulations, but nothing could predict the humans' next move. The first salvo arrived. Energy blasts streaked across space toward the human ship, designed to destroy instantly. Yet the humans were ready. Shields absorbed the impact, and the ship moved unpredictably, slipping between fire and debris, weaving around asteroids, using the system itself as a weapon. "Impossible," said a V-Rin commander aboard the flagship. "One ship and we cannot hit them." "They fight differently," his aide whispered. "They are humans. It is not strength, not numbers. It is intelligence, courage, and unpredictability." Alara spoke calmly to her crew. "Deploy drones, map the fleets, observe their patterns. We will demonstrate something more than strength." The humans did not attack in the way the aliens expected. They did not fire weapons to destroy. Instead, they moved strategically, disabling key systems across multiple ships with precision strikes. Communications went dark, navigation failed, and weapon systems overloaded. Alien ships drifted helplessly, unable to coordinate. Ryan looked at the displays. "Captain, they are panicking. Their numbers mean nothing now. They cannot predict us, cannot adapt fast enough." Alara nodded. "Exactly. We are showing them the human advantage. One ship is enough because humans use thought, not just power. We can protect, defend, and win without fighting like they do." Across the galaxy, observers from other species watched in astonishment. Rumors spread faster than any fleet could travel. A single human ship had bested hundreds of warships, not by destroying them but by outthinking them. The message was clear. Humans were not a species to be underestimated. Kyler, aboard the V-Rin flagship, gritted his teeth. "We are prepared, we have everything, we cannot lose, and yet we cannot even touch them." A counselor from another species spoke quietly. "It is not their weapons, it is not their fleet size. It is their mind, their adaptability, their unity. That is why one ship is enough." Meanwhile, the humans moved through the system with care. They avoided unnecessary destruction, but every action demonstrated power. Colonies under threat were stabilized. Escape routes were opened. Alien patrols were neutralized non-lethally. The humans showed that defense and intelligence could achieve far more than attack alone. Finally, Alara activated the ship's universal communicator. A clear, calm message echoed across the fleets. "We do not seek war," she said. "We seek freedom for those who cannot protect themselves. We act only when necessary. Understand this. One human ship can defend many, outthink many, and protect hope across the galaxy. We are not here to conquer. We are here to ensure that injustice meets resistance." "One ship is enough. Humans are enough." Silence followed. Alien captains stared at their displays. Fleets paused. For the first time, no one fired. They realized that even overwhelming numbers could not overcome human ingenuity, adaptability, and courage. The fleet slowly withdrew. Embarrassed, confused, and humbled, the aliens returned to their systems. Reports would later describe the event as a miracle, a tactical impossibility, a lesson no algorithm could predict. Alara turned to her crew. "This is why we exist. One ship can make a difference. One ship can protect lives. One ship can inspire hope and caution alike." Ryan smiled. "Captain, the galaxy will never forget this. They will always remember that humans are not to be underestimated." Across the stars, colonies and civilizations whispered of the lone human ship that had appeared, that had acted, that had changed everything. Myths grew around the story. Some feared humans. Others hoped for their protection. All understood a simple, undeniable truth. One human ship was enough. Alara looked at the stars, calm and thoughtful. Humans had always relied on courage, intelligence, and unity. They had survived countless challenges, overcome countless foes, and emerged stronger every time. Today, they had reminded the galaxy that numbers were not everything, that technology was not everything, and that one determined species, acting together with intelligence and heart, was enough to make a difference. The ship moved onward, leaving the system in peace. Colonists waved from the surface. and sensors picked up distant transmissions of hope and gratitude. The humans had acted not as conquerors, but as guardians, showing that one ship could carry the weight of an entire galaxy's expectations. Kyler, watching from his flagship, finally admitted aloud what everyone had begun to understand. It is not the ship, it is not the firepower, it is the humans themselves. One ship is enough because humans fight like humans. And in the quiet of space, as the stars stretched endlessly ahead, Captain Alara Kane and her crew sailed onward. One ship, one crew, one species, proving once again that humanity's strength was in its courage, ingenuity, and unity. One ship had arrived. One ship had changed the galaxy, and one ship would always be enough. The galaxy would never be the same again.